Following their trade for Luka Doncic, who was present despite not being active for their game tonight, the Lakers were playing shorthanded, obviously playing without Anthony Davis and Max Christie, both of which they traded for Luka Doncic, and they had a tough test against a tough opponent, that being the number 2 rated defense LA Clippers, and I imagine a whole lot of people thought the Clippers would win this game tonight. Being a home game for the Clippers, the Lakers playing shorthanded, and without 2 of their main guys, obviously AD and Christie, and then the guy they traded them away for, that being Luka Doncic. And yet, the Lakers put up 73 points by halftime on 61% shooting from the field and 58% from beyond the arc. I mean, no matter what way you look at it, the Lakers outplayed the Clippers, played way better offensively, played much more locked in defensively, and simply wanted more out there too. And don't get me wrong, I love Anthony Davis and what he did for their team, but if there's one benefit to playing without him, and especially on offense, it would be a more free-flowing offense, a much more quick up-tempo offense, and they probably did benefit from that tonight, and really shocked the LA Clippers by playing that way too. No more Anthony Davis, and that meant more high up-tempo pick-and-roll play, more up and down on the court, and that meant more high-paced, really free-flowing styled offense, which in my opinion, they did benefit from tonight, especially being LeBron and Austin Reeves too. LeBron looked very motivated tonight, showing Luka and the Lakers that he's got plenty left in the tank. I mean, the guy had 21 points and 5 assists by halftime alone, not to mention 3 steals go with it, contributing on both ends of the court and really looking locked in out there too. Ending up with 26 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals, and shooting 8 of 13 from the field. All around great game for him, and definitely not showing any letdown or any remorse about the Lakers trading away Anthony Davis, and looks to be very excited for his new teammate Luka Doncic out there too. And Luka Doncic appeared to enjoy watching it from the bench. Then for Austin Reeves, he showed that he can take on a bigger role when needed, not only tonight but many times in the past as well. By halftime tonight, the guy had 10 points, 6 assists, to only 1 turnover, really benefiting from more opportunity on the court and that free-flowing offense I mentioned too. Ending up with 20 points, 9 assists, and shooting 7 of 13 from the field and 3 of 7 from beyond the arc. But then a little bit more for their defense. They were really locked in out there, and it wasn't simply 1 or 2 guys alone out there. Not simply Vanderbilt or Dorian Finney-Smith, both of which played great defense, don't get me wrong, and even both knocked down a 3-point shot. Vanderbilt hitting his first 3-point shot of the season, and that's a great sign for him. They brought plenty of energy, especially on defense, but again, it really was a total team effort out there. LeBron played great defense, Jackson Hayes played really good defense, Gabe Vincent came off the bench to play great defense, and they all around locked in on defense and showed what they can do, even without Anthony Davis and Max Christie for that fact too. Holding the Clippers to only 97 points, only 38% from the field, 29% from 3, 9 turnovers, and all around being very discombobulated on offense the entire game too. And with that being said, a really good game for their team, not only the starters but then the bench unit as well. I mentioned Gabe Vincent, but not only about the defense but definitely the offense too. The guy had 12 points off the bench tonight on 4 of 8 3-point shooting, 50% from 3, and it shot about 39% from 3, dating all the way back to December 1st. So push the narratives aside here, the guy's been playing really well for their team for quite a majority of the time this season, and on both ends of the court at that too. Then finally, gotta mention Jackson Hayes out there. You know, obviously not the best player in the rotation or the best guy on the court tonight, but filling in for Anthony Davis, played pretty well. In 24 minutes of action tonight, the guy had 6 points, 6 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds, a very impressive 4 assists to only 1 turnover, having a couple of blocks, 1 steal, and shooting 50% from the field. Bringing great energy for their team. Obviously really can't replace Anthony Davis, nobody can, but did a pretty good job filling in for him tonight, and he will have to continue that going forward, especially if they don't trade for another big. With that being said though, great game for their team tonight. Both ends of the court played great defensively, shot incredibly well from the 3-point line, and all around a really good team win. And with that in mind, I'll let you hear about what JJ Redick had to say about it, and how they can maintain this performance going forward, which will include Luka Doncic going forward as well.
With everything going on the past couple of days, could you have expected that type of connected effort, and kind of what did you attribute that being so consistent throughout the game?
You could certainly hope for it, and I thought it was a nice carryover from the New York game. In some ways, some of the game planning was an extension of the New York game, and thought our guys did a really good job executing that. I thought defensively it was about as connected as we've been all season. and our execution level was very high. And then offensively, again, just continue to build out, some of the intentional tactical stuff, and we've been really sharp with that over the past 10 to 14 days. And I think we're 13-1 now when we have 30 or more assists. So it was really just a complete game for us on both sides, and challenged the guys to have the same spirit in the second half, knowing they'd make a run. Made their run. We responded, and just fantastic basketball at both ends of the floor for us tonight.
Sure.
JJ, LeBron is 40 years old, just came off this Grammy trip. Just defensively, the energy he's playing with right now, particularly without Anthony Davis, what did you kind of see from him on that court in terms of the connectivity and his activity?
I thought he led us on both ends, and it says something that he every few games he's raising his hand asking for a sub. Like he's going full tilt on both ends of the floor, and it'd be very easy for him, given his resume and accomplishments and age and frankly bank account, if he wanted to just save himself for offense. And he's playing both sides of the ball, giving everything he has. Another great game from him.
I assume this is the problem with kids. They'll get you sick.
Actually, it was the game here. It's so loud in there that it was a game here a few weeks ago that started this cough, and I finally bit the bullet and started medicine tonight. So hopefully it's gone in a few days.
My feel for you, JJ, is that, a big trade or a roster shuffle happens and it's like someone dumped a new puzzle, like the pieces out in front of you, and your brain is like, okay, how can I put them together? How are you balancing that with the fact that Luka's not playing right now, and you might have some more changes in the next couple of days in terms of future planning versus staying in the moment, and your coach brain working on this puzzle?
Yeah, I think the puzzle in some ways, solving that puzzle got a little bit of time due to him not being available, this week, maybe Saturday, but just these first two games, and then going into All-Star break where you've got then some more time to really lock in as a coaching staff. And the balance for me and the group has been maintaining the spirit that we've built, the identity that we've built, the connectivity that we've built, particularly over the last month or so. And again, that, Air and I were talking about it when we subbed everybody out, like it was there again tonight. And when our group plays with that, we're a very competitive team.
JJ, Luka joined the group on the bench right before tip-off and was obviously sitting next to LeBron and interacting with him, and I'm sure in the locker room and stuff. What was it like just having him tonight for the first time? Obviously not on the court, but just the off-court stuff.
Yeah, no, it was good to have him in the building today for the press conference. Got some work in. Got some work in yesterday afternoon as well. And I think for him, the emotions of it, and some of those emotions can be negative and some of those emotions can just be shock, and he's used the word processing with me, and I think each day that goes by, he feels like he's realizing his new normal, if that makes sense. And I think for any guy that gets traded midseason, that's a process, and that takes time, but loved having him around the group.